Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Shane. So today I have for you is the Zion Arms Nebula MOSFET. Saw that it was on Amazon because I got the PW9, I did the review on it, and saw that it had the Nebula MOSFET, which I hadn't really seen, and I wanted to take a look at it. Zion Arms company is based out of Los Angeles, and they've actually teamed up with Lancer Tactical for their Gen 3 series. The Gen 3 series is supposed to be kind of like the Pro line is right now. It's kind of interesting, right? So they've kind of flooded the low-end gun market for years now. The original Lancer Tactical guns were crap. Gen 1 was horrible. They were super cheap, so people would buy them, and they would always get returned, and they were just pieces of junk. So the G2 line came out, which were dramatically better. Not great, but better. Good for the price point, because it's all polymer body and everything. And then they came out with the Pro line. And the Pro line series were actually pretty good. I've got one of them right there. I got in a mystery box, and it's actually a pretty solid little rifle. Like, I'm kind of at odds with Lancer, right? Because they're just flooding the market with cheap guns. As long as they keep their quality up, I'm totally for it. It allows new people to get a decent replica and go out and play and not have to worry about it breaking constantly. That's one of the worst things about getting into Airsoft for new people. You go, you buy a gun, you play a couple matches, and then it gets trashed. And then you got to take it back to the store, and the store wants to fix it before they replace it, right? Because they don't want to give you a whole new gun, so you got to wait to get it fixed. And that's the type of stuff that turns people off of Airsoft. If they can offer a sub 250 replica that performs well and will last for a while, then I'm all for it. The G3 series, they retail for around $250. They have the Nebula MOSFET, 603 type bore, and they come wired to Dean's off the bat. So let's dig into it. So the Zion Arms Nebula is right here. We're going to go ahead and unbox this thing. Alright, so we got a Zion Arms patch, we got the Zion Arms QR code, and a programming card for the Nebula. They got like a little step 1, step 2 box system. So we got step 1 and step 2. So here's your trigger board, and it's wired to Dean's, which is nice. The wires look like, they're not 16 gauge, it looks like they're 18 gauge. I prefer 16 gauge just because they're a little bit beefier, but there's nothing wrong with these wires. So as you can see, it has a micro switch trigger here, and it uses a magnetic sensor, so you have to use their sector gear, because there's a magnet right here. I'm not a huge fan of having to use their sector gear, but, you know, you can easily change the sector gear, and if you're going to open up to put a MOSFET, you're going to want to go ahead and reshim, polish your barrel, guide rails, like the whole shebang, because if you're opening it up, you might as well do all the work at once, right? Looks like it'll fit pretty much any V2 gearbox for the most part. You might have to do some, on some of the more, weird ones or kind of proprietary ones, you're probably going to have to do a little bit of dremeling, maybe some sanding, no big deal. I know a lot of MOSFETs are going to optical these days, like the gates and everything. And optical's good. It's really a great system because it doesn't use magnets. You don't have to replace gears, like none of that, right? And I like that. However, the gate, like the Gate Titan, is just absolutely too much for me. I don't need all the craziness that the Gate Titan does. I want a MOSFET that I install. It's got all the features I want. I can do programs, programmable everything, and I can do it straight from the trigger. So you flip it from semi to auto twice. It's going to beep twice, and then you just pull the trigger for whatever you want. So you got semi, 2-round burst, 3-round burst, 4-round burst, 5-round burst, the binary trigger, which is really cool. That was on my PW9 video. And then just straight full auto, and you confirm the changes, you hold the trigger for 2 seconds, and bam, you're good to go. Oh, I guess it is made in America. I figured it'd be made in China. Well, they're an LA company, so I guess they made it. It says, oh, designed in California, right? Designed in California. All right, so we got an American flag on both sides. It doesn't say made in China, but if it says designed in California, if they wanted to show off the fact that it was made in USA, they would put made in USA. So I got a feeling that this is not made in USA, and it's probably made in China. Designed in California, made in China. Whatever. Oh, yeah, here it is. Fabriqué in China. Sorry. Made in China. So it is made in China, but it was designed in the USA. Okay. I kind of don't like it when companies put designed in America, because they're like trying to play to that made in America movement, trying to buy local and everything like that, to not outsource everything that we make. So for me personally, I think that's kind of a jip. Like if it's made in China, it's made in China. You don't need to put designed in America and then put made in China on the back. Like I'd rather you just not put anything on it, no flags, none of that, and just put made in China on the box. That's just my personal feelings on it. So I think this was around $70 on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below. But I feel like for 70 bucks, if you want a basic MOSFET that'll take care of all of 99% of the player's needs, this is probably a good option. I like the fact that it's on Amazon. I think it's a little bit more expensive, but you get the free shipping and the hassle-free return and all of that. You know, I personally, I love Amazon. I realize you pay a little bit more on Amazon, but you know, generally I can get it because I'm in a big city. Generally, it's next day shipping, and I can get it sent straight to my door. And when you want to return something, they will literally take anything. They do not care. If you want to return it, you send it back. Let's see what this QR code takes us to. It's probably just the website. Oh, that's a kick in the face. The QR code on the website takes you to a 404 page cannot be found. That's not looking good for the company. So this is probably supposed to take you to the user manual, and I guess there is no user manual. Let me check real quick. Yep, I clicked on manual and there is nothing to be found. Shame on you, Zion Arms. Come on, if you're going to release a product, at least make sure that all the support is there. And you don't really need a manual for how to install this. It's pretty basic for someone who's experienced, but if you don't know and you've never done this and say this is brand new, there's no video, then how are you supposed to know how to install it? So shame, shame, shame. Zion Arms, you're going to have to step your game up, especially if you're going to be pairing with a company like Lancer Tactical. So I have the PW9 that has this installed, and I'll say the trigger pull on it super crisp. All the programming modes work. The binary trigger was really cool. You can see that on the video. Would I buy this again for about 70 bucks? Yeah, I think there's other alternatives out there. I'm going to throw this into one of the other replicas that I have around and maybe do a little torture test on it, play with it, see about it. But I think for 70 bucks for a basic MOSFET, it's going to fit 99% of people's needs. I will recommend it just to say, if you need something easy, get it off Amazon, put it in, cool. But there's a ton of MOSFETs out there that you can try. I know it sounds like I'm dogging on the Gate Titan because I talk about how much you don't need it in all the videos, but like 99% of builds do not need all that. You don't need to Bluetooth your phone to your MOSFET. I'm kind of a believer as simple is better when it comes to electronics and things like that. Too many features equals too many problems, personally. I'll be doing an install video for this. That way, if you ever grab one and you want to install it, you can see if there's some pitfalls or anything, because there might be some shaving. I'm going to put it in a regular V2 gearbox. And on that video, I'll most likely be throwing in some of the things that I do to a gearbox to make it perform better. I'm a big fan of a lot of small things add up to a big thing. So there's things that I do that are incredibly small. It's one of those things that if you do these 10 things, and all of them help performance by 0.1, right? And then you do all of them, it adds up to 1. Big things have small beginnings, like in the movie, like in the Aliens Prometheus movie. I like that movie. It's a good movie. All right, guys. Well, thanks for stopping by to the channel. I hope you enjoyed the video, and like, share, subscribe, ring the bell, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time.